There are some key spiritual principles that underlay the spiritual lessons that the Soul Council will be communicating to our client. It's at this stage that we can start to get some of the teachings that come from a more ultimate reality frame of perception. We can learn the spiritual lessons and the spiritual laws that apply. And in some ways, these kind of answers can appear a little mystical, things that are difficult for our conscious mind to try to grasp. But by this stage of a life between life session, we've moved away from the conscious analytical mind. We're even now moving beyond the spiritual reality, which is breaking the bonds of time. That was then, this is now. They did bad to me, I did bad to them. It balances out. Now we go really fully beyond concepts of good or bad, because we go beyond concepts of past and future, beyond concepts of self or other. So the first core principle can be, I am no one, therefore I take nothing personally. So we've seen in our present life, we've got the characters and roles, but we see over multiple lives. Spiritual reality shows us we play many roles. And when we talk about I am, we tend to defend what we are, our ego, the things that we own. If I am no one, there is nothing to defend. There is nothing to compare with. No one is better or worse. No one is bad and therefore needs to be attacked. When we do past life regression, people often bring this frame of, I want to know who I was. What was my character, my identity, my life circumstances, the plot in life between lives? All of that only existed as a vehicle to teach me so that I could learn certain spiritual lessons and the principles underlying that. The I that I think I am is a consequence of my karmic actions, and see beyond these characters and plots. We can see our interactions are determined by our past actions and the intertwining actions of other souls in our inner or outer soul group. The question, why did they do that to me, becomes less important. They start to realize the characters and plots were required for our experiential spiritual lessons. They did that to me because we were mutually assisting each other's spiritual growth. When we realize, in a sense, I am no one, they are no one, who are they? We both have identities across many past lives and spiritual identities in the spiritual world. And these identities, these characters do not survive across lives. What does survive is the spirit learning lessons and the karma seeking to balance or resolve. They didn't do something to you. Our bodies and our circumstances are vehicles of karmic causes and effects playing out over millennia like cosmic winds. So your clients may explain to you, or may not be able to articulate it quite so well, but have the sense of not being so strongly attached to a sense of self, to an ego, to a personality. This sense more simply can just be not taking things personally, and this can be very powerful. So they may explain it to you. One small story to convey this that you could tell your clients can be something like, when the wind blows and a branch falls from the tree and hits us, we don't get angry at the tree or feel hatred for the tree and punch the tree. We accept and forgive. If a person hits us with a branch, we get angry, we fight back, or we feel internally conflicted on how we should act or how we did act. Was I weak by not responding? Was I hot-headed by responding too strongly? We may wonder how we can forgive them for their actions, and yet when we don't take things personally, every branch that another person throws at our person, we can see it as if it is a branch that simply fell from a tree. The karmic winds and the loose branch created by karmic conditions simply are. It's hardly a question of forgiving the tree or overcoming our hatred for the tree, or feeling guilty for punching the tree and having a sore hand. We naturally accept it. We can come to a place of spiritual wisdom where we don't ask, why did they do that to me? We don't personalize it. We understand the workings of karma and we can be at peace with it. so we can learn the lesson of not clinging to being anyone and say, I am no one. At the same time, we can say, I am everyone. These appear to be contradictory, but they work together. I have been or will be every side of the story. In infinite time, I'll play every role as every character and experience every plot line. Our clients can know that whatever was done to them, they have done to others. They may seek to act to create karmic balance, but they may be overreacting and being judgmental to themselves. So they can realize, since they have been and will be everyone, there is karmic balance right now. A third spiritual principle is, this too will pass. From the frame of ultimate reality, time is eternal. The space of self is infinite. I am one and all. In infinite time, karmic justice is inevitable. It requires no extra reactive, perpetuating action from my limited self to fight for justice. At a conventional or spiritual frame, I can take the appropriate actions that are just, but I can have the wisdom of the ultimate frame, which is to make my state of being, while I am doing these actions, one of deep peacefulness. So these are three key spiritual principles. They underlay spiritual lessons like acceptance, self-actualization, forgiveness, being forgiven, and reconciling inner conflicts and dualities. Ultimately, the spiritual lessons and principles that your clients get from the soul council or from their inner self will lead them towards an ultimate therapeutic outcome of deep peace. The way that we can confirm or guide this therapeutic outcome and translate it into their present life makes up the next section, Life Between Lives Therapy.